Hello, and welcome to another episode of the More Minute. Today, I'm excited to talk about this compute powerhouse called Netezza Performance Server, which is in the databases space, and how this can really bring a unique benefit to an open data lakehouse architecture. And really, what's important to know about this is the versatility, not only of the power in Netezza and the different types of queries that you can run with it at massive scale, thinking for major enterprise clients, but also the versatility of watsonx.data, which is the open data lakehouse. And I'd love to walk you through a quick example of what this looks like both at a data layer as well as in query engine level. So you can see here and really the components of watsonx.data, which I've walked through in other videos, but to briefly go over the value of this tool is really being able to connect multiple different data sources from multiple different data formats, different storage options, as well as a variety of different query engines, right? And you're not locked into a single vendor. You have the ability to really do this at scale with a variety of different databases, which really mimics the variety of databases and the diversity in the enterprise data landscape today. And what I'd really like to draw your attention to is the fact that you can see Netezza Performance Server is available as a query engine. And what's really great about watsonx.data, this open data lakehouse format, is that it's not the only query engine that you have. You can also leverage Presto, which comes out of the box with watsonx.data, as well as Spark, Milvus, and other vector databases to come, as well as other third-party engines like SingleStore, Redshift, Snowflake, DB2 even. And the value with this is that you can leverage these different query engines for different type of analytic workloads or jobs that are really best suited to the different variety of sources. You also can see here that there are lots of different data sources. So we can see DB2 even running on the mainframe in Formix, Netezza, this one that's really the focus of this video, as well as a host of other both relational and non-relational databases that are from a variety of sources, including different vendors, including open source, etc. And so when we think about Netezza running as a data source that's connected into this open data lakehouse, say for instance, you are leveraging Presto for a BI type of workload. And so you can leverage Presto and do a federated search and kind of pull data both from Cloud Object Store, maybe from S3, and maybe you also want to pull from Netezza as well. And so you can take run that query, take all of the information, and then store it maybe in Object Store or store it in S3, or maybe you want to store it in Netezza, or maybe you want to store it on the mainframe that has your DB2 instance, etc. And that's one way you could leverage Presto as a query engine and Netezza as a data source. However, if you wanted to leverage Netezza as an actual engine that is you're going to use for queries, you can then even run Netezza, which has this incredible massive parallel processing, which allows you to run queries extremely fast and has really unparalleled compute power. You can run a query in Netezza, let's say is leveraging S3 or your Google Cloud Storage, maybe Azure, as well as you want to pull some data that's currently on the Netezza box itself. And then you have the option to use Netezza as the query engine and then decide where you want to write the output of that query to, essentially where you want to store the answer of that question that you asked. And you can do that even in Netezza, or you could also do it in S3 or Google Cloud Storage or really anywhere. So with this quick example, you can see the variety that you're able to really leverage and you're able to be more agile, both from a query space example, as well as what type of data sources you really want to leverage. Many clients that are massive users of Netezza for this powerful compute, they often find value in moving off some of their Netezza data into, for example, a lower cost object store, not for the storage that it frees up, but for the compute power. And therefore, they can really choose to strategically leverage the Netezza compute power, maybe specifically for jobs that have a much greater SLA that are more mission critical for their enterprise. And in that example, jobs that have a lower critical response time, for example, running month-end reports, those could be offloaded. That data could be offloaded into Object Store and then leveraged with something like a Presto or a Spark for an ETL type of workload and have Spark pull directly from the object storage. And really, it's up to an enterprise if they decide to either offload that Netezza data into a lower cost object store or to copy it into a lower cost object store. And I wanted to show you briefly inside of the actual X.data tool what this would look like. So you can see here that Netezza is one of the options in the engines, along with DB2, Spark, Presto, which again comes out of the box, and Presto C++. You also have the different catalog layers as well that all are connected. And then you even have the different storage options as well. And if we go in to actually add a catalog or add a component rather, you can see this again in the list view, but when adding a component, and let me pause here, you can see that Netezza is actually one of the query engines available that you can connect into X.data. And even moving further along, though, we can see that Netezza is also one of the storage engines. So you can really leverage both Netezza, this powerful tool, both as a query engine and also as a storage as well. And so you can see the configuration of that storage. And then as we scroll down, you'll be able to see Netezza here as some of the different data sources that you can connect into this powerful tool as well. And so I hope that this was informative and helpful to you because when we think of a data lakehouse solution, not only do we think about the power of all of the different data sources that we can connect, which is absolutely a key benefit, but what's really unique about watsonx.data is that it allows you to connect multiple different query engines that are really best suited to specific workloads to help your enterprise be as effective as possible.